Welcome back to Iron Coaching Court at Arroyo Broen Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We brought you the men's game earlier, and they dropped a 68-65 decision to the Central Washington men. Now it's the women's turn to take the court, and the Wildcats coming in with a record of 4-2, and the Falcons a record of 3-4. The GNAC opener for both of these teams. And as is the case with the men's teams, these teams are not going to see each other again until the very end of the season in Ellensburg on February 26th. As the men's teams and women's teams will have a lot of doubleheaders. They won't always be playing the same opponents, but they do have the same scheduled dates with this Central Washington team, coached by Randy Richardson Thornley in her 5th year. She was an assistant here at SPU from 2013 through 2015. And assisted by Jessica Richardson, apparently no relation. There is no mention of them being sisters in their bios on the website for Central Washington, but I could be wrong on that. But Randy Richardson Thornley in her 5th year as the head coach of the Wildcats, and Mike Simonson in his 4th year as the coach of the SPU Falcons. And Central Washington with Tori Maeda, a sophomore from Honolulu, Hawaii, Kiza Maltezo, a senior from Honoka'a, Hawaii, Cassidy Malcolm, a senior from Ellensburg, Washington, Claire Heitschmidt, a freshman from Vancouver, Washington, and Jenna Troy, a sophomore from Kenmore, Washington. The big story tonight for the Wildcats is that Samantha Bowman is scratched for this one, and we'll see if they get her back. Falcons are going to go with Abril Reshak Rory, a senior from Catalonia, Spain, Anna Eddy, a sophomore from Portland, Oregon, Caprice Boston, a senior from Everett, Washington, Ashley Alter, a senior from Stanwood, Washington, as we get ready for the opening tip, Natalie Hoff in the circle, and unable to get that one for the Falcons as the Wildcats win the tip. Natalie Hoff, a senior from Beaverton, Oregon, the older sister, as a 3 goes up here, the older sister of Maya Hoff, who is not in the starting lineup tonight for the Falcons. They did start together in a home game earlier this year, but Maya Hoff going to be coming off the bench tonight. This is Natalie Hoff getting it out to Reshak Rory. She drives and couldn't get that one to go. Good-looking move, but unable to get the shot to go down. And so the Wildcats the other way. Mentioned Samantha Bowman averaging 16 points and 15 rebounds per game, and has had a double-double in every game but one for the Wildcats. And so they're going to miss her tonight, but they're going to see if they can get a win here at SPU regardless, as the Wildcats putting up pretty good numbers so far, of course, with Samantha Bowman in the lineup, and she is not tonight. But they are led in scoring by Kiza Maltezo with 16.4 points per game, and she is the second leading, second in assists on the Wildcats squad so far to this point in the season. This is going to be a 3 on the way from Tori Maeda, and it's no good, but the Wildcats pull down the offensive rebound. This is Maltezo putting up the shot off the rim, no good. And the Falcons pull down the rebound here. Alter, being pressured in the front court, gets it out to Reshak Rory. And a 3 on the way from the left wing by Anna Eddy is good. And that'll put the Falcons in front 3-0, almost 2 minutes in. Maltezo in the front court. Heitschmidt. And now they get it over to Maeda in the corner. Back out to Maltezo on top. Here's a 3 on the way. And it's good. Kiza Maltezo ties it up at 3. And off to a good start. Mentioned averaging 16.4 points, 25 assists through 6 games. So that's a little over 4 per game. Here is Alter, and did not draw the foul there. Good defense by the Wildcats, and they come the other way. Here's Maltezo, another 3 on the way, but that one rims out. Falcons the other way with it. Reshak Rory into the front court. And they swing it around to Caprice Boston for a 3 from the corner, and she drains it. And the Falcons lead 6-3. Caprice Boston connects on the 3. Here come the Wildcats. And stepping into the lane and laying it up and in with the left hand is Cassidy Malcolm, senior out of Ellensburg. And Malcolm averages 16 points. They have 3 players averaging 16 points a game. Malcolm 15.9, so close enough. And this will be Reshak Rory getting to the free throw line, with the Falcons ahead 6-5. And Abril Reshak Rory will try to expand the Falcons' lead as the Wildcats sub in Valerie Sunshine Huerta. And she goes by Sunshine, so I'm going to go with that. And Kiara Bush into the game as well for the Wildcats. And Reshak Rory hits the first free throw. She'll get another. 6:36 on the clock here in the first quarter, and that one misses, and Bush chases down the rebound. Hands off to Maeda, and she will cross midcourt with it. Bush swings it around for a 3, and that one off the mark by Malcolm, but the Wildcats get the offensive rebound. This one off of the foot of Reshak Rory. She comes away with it, but I believe they're going to get her for traveling, as she was on the floor and rolled over. And so they'll give it to the Wildcats. Coming into the game for the Falcons is Haley Marlowe, sophomore out of Spokane. Number 12 on the floor now guarding the basketball. This is going to be Tori Maeda. And now they try to get it inside, and they do, to Cassidy Malcolm for 2 easy ones there at the bucket. 7-7 your score now. Boston gets it out to Marlowe. Over to Anna Eddy. Eddy gets it in to Hoff. Natalie Hoff. And Hoff not ready for that one, but does catch it. Goes to the bucket, and a little too strong on the lay-in there. And the Wildcats the other way with it. 7-7 your score. Boston got a hand in there and knocked it away. And here come the Falcons. Ashley Alter sets her feet for a 3 and leaves it short. And the Wildcats with the rebound. Tori Maeda out of Honolulu. Crossing midcourt now. And this is going to be Heitschmidt driving, and that one's off the mark. No good, but the rebound to the Wildcats, and they have gotten several offensive rebounds so far in this one in the first 5 minutes. Bush swings it around, and it's blocked by Eddy. And we get a whistle. Let's see if they got a foul there. They did. And that one is going to go. That one's actually going on the Wildcats on Cassidy Malcolm, so it's going the other way. And we will get to a timeout on the floor here with 4:40 to go in the first quarter. 7-7 your score, Falcons and Wildcats. We'll be right back in just a moment. You're watching SPU basketball on the SPU webcast. back inside Royal Browan Pavilion. Greg Sexton with you on the SBU webcast. 7-7 your score as Beth Pettengill off the bench for the Falcons will inbound now to Haley Marlowe. And Marlowe in the front court with it. Alter drives, kicks it to Natalie Hoff, and that one pinballs out. And the Wildcats pull down the rebound. Claire Heitschmidt gets it to Tori Maeda, and she gets it across midcourt. This is Maltezo pulling up from the elbow, or maybe just inside it, and she scores and puts the Wildcats in front 9-7. Falcons with it in the front court. Natalie Hoff dishing to Alter. And now Alter gets it back in the corner. Drives and has to kick it back out to Marlowe. Marlowe fighting for it on the floor. And they're going to call a held ball as Marlowe was unable to get it to a teammate there, trying to get rid of it. But Wildcats had a couple of players in there trying to get their hands on it. And it'll be a held ball. It'll stay with the Falcons. This is going to be Marlowe pulling up as there's the offensive rebound on the putback. And the Falcons tie it up at 9 on a bucket there by Beth Pettengill. Here's Maltezo falling to the floor there. Gets right back up. And we're going to get a foul called here on this one's going to go on Bailey Brennan for the Falcons, junior out of Post Falls, Idaho. That is her first. Kiara Bush will come out. And it'll be Cassidy, or Claire Heitschmidt, rather, at the free throw line. Yeah, she puts in the first free throw to give the Wildcats the lead by 1. Second one, no good. And so it's a 10-9 ball game as Haley Marlowe comes across midcourt and gets it to Maya Hoff, who is in the game now. This is Brundage, Kayla Brundage. And now Maya Hoff in the post, turns around and puts it in. Good-looking play from the freshman out of Beaverton, Oregon, as she comes onto the floor and contributes immediately. Here's Maltezo pulling up from the free throw line. No good. And the Wildcats, yet another offensive rebound. Maltezo gets another crack at it. Couldn't get that to go either. Pettengill the other way for the Falcons. And here's Haley Marlowe into the front court, being guarded by Maeda. This is Bailey Brennan driving baseline, kicking it back out to Pettengill. She'll get it to Brundage. And now we get a whistle away from the ball. Maltezo ended up on the floor, but it's going to go. Let's see here. They as Sunshine Huerta comes back in, they have 25. Oh, that's that foul is on SPU's Beth Pettengill. The Wildcats taking possession. And now the Falcons will take it back with 2:12 to go in the first quarter. And Haley Marlowe at the controls. Gets it to Pettengill. Brundage looking for somewhere to go with it. Pulls up from the free throw line and leaves it short. And this one's going to go the other way. Wildcats will get it back. 11-10, Falcons in the lead with 1:50 to go here in the first half. The first quarter, rather. And used to talking about halves from doing the men's game. Now we're playing quarters. As Bailey Brennan commits the foul, and that's her second, so she will head to the bench. Obril Reshak Rory will check back in. Maltezo inbounding to Maeda. And that's Huerta. Cassidy Malcolm with the bucket. And the Wildcats lead by a point. Caleb Brundage with it. Marlowe will step back and take a three. Use the screen from Brundage, and Marlowe drains it. Nothing but net. 14-12 Falcons. This is Sunshine Huerta in the front court. And a three on the way from Maltezo. That one's off the mark. And does not catch rim. Falcons will take it with just under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Skylar Berry, freshman from Portland, coming in for the Falcons, number 32. Marlowe will get it to Pettengill. Falcons use a lot of players. Here is Marlowe, a three on the way, no good. And the Falcons chasing down the rebound. Pettengill to the bucket. Couldn't get the shot to go, though. But Pettengill will head to the free throw line. As the foul called on Claire Heitschmidt. That is her first. Just 3 team fouls per side here in the first quarter. And Pettengill to the free throw line, and she rattles that one home. Pettengill averaging 7.7 points per game, and 6 of 8 at the free throw line coming into this one. Knocks down 2 of 2 here, and puts the Falcons up by 4, 16-12. Wildcats, as I mentioned, missing Samantha Bowman. This really could be a much different game if she was on the floor for the Wildcats. As they're looking to run the clock down here. And it's stolen away. Pettengill comes up with it, and now the Falcons can play for the last shot. Obril Reshak Rory will get it across midcourt. Get the screen there from Barry. And try to get it out to Maya Hoff. It's out of bounds, and the quarter ends, so I was looking to see who they were giving it to, but it's irrelevant as the timer expires in the first quarter. 16-12 SPU over Central Washington after 1 quarter of play, and we'll be back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. Back to Seattle Pacific University. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. 16-12 your score. Falcons in the lead after 1. And the game kind of went back and forth in that first quarter, but the Falcons end up on top by 4. Going to the second quarter, as Kiza Maltezo will inbound it to Tori Maeda. And now Sunshine Huerta with the ball. She'll kick it out to Maltezo, who drives and goes up over Haley Marlowe. The shot is no good, and the rebound is pulled down by Skylar Berry. Falcons the other way with it. And the pass picked off there, trying to get it to Reshak Rory, but Maeda stepped in front. And now we're going to get a foul. And no, we're going to get a traveling violation whistled on Kiza Maltezo. Looked like she got Marlowe up in the air, but took one too many steps, apparently, as well. Here's Caprice Boston. Eddie back to Rayshak Rory, who drives and finds Skylar Berry cutting to the basket. Tried to fight through some contact there and was a little too strong with the shot. And so the Wildcats the other way. Maltezo. They'll swing it over to Heitschmidt. And now a wide open three from Maeda from the corner is no good. Another offensive rebound. And Huerta's able to save it as she throws it off of Anna Eddy. And the Wildcats will keep it. Marlowe comes out. Ashley Alter back on the floor for the Falcons. Here is a three on the way. A step back there from Cassidy Malcolm. Couldn't get it to go. And yet another offensive rebound. I'm going to take a look at the stats at my next opportunity here on how many of that is for the Wildcats, as this one goes out of bounds, and it's last touch by the Falcons. The Wildcats will keep it. 8:25 to go, second quarter. Falcons still with the lead, 16-12. And Maltezo gets it in to Maeda, who leaves that one short. Saved in bounds, but to the Falcons. As here comes Ashley Alter into the front court. Alter and Natalie Hoff both averaging 11.1 per game for the Falcons, leading the way for them in that department. Here is Caprice Boston with a three from the left corner, and she knocks it in, and the Falcons take a 7-point lead. Caprice Boston, a senior out of Everett. And this one, they blow it dead, and they're going to call a foul here on Boston. Subs for both teams as Natalie Hoff comes back for the Falcons, and Amanda Sissel into the game for the Wildcats. And she will get it now, being guarded by Eddy. Over in the corner, and a three on the way from Maltezo. The Falcons take down the rebound and come the other way, and Ashley Alter's got a wide open lay-in with the left hand. 9-point lead for the Falcons. And the Wildcats the other way. Wildcats at 4-2 in non-conference play. And we're going to get a whistle, and it's going to go the other way. The Falcons are going to get it back. Foul called on Claire Heitschmidt. And 7:09 to go, second quarter. Kiera Bush coming back in. Kiera Bush went to Cleveland High School here in Seattle. And transferred from Midland College. Rayshak Rory looking for somewhere to go. Anna Eddy ends up with it. And tried to get it to Natalie Hoff, who was pushed from behind and fouled. And this one is going to go on Kiera Bush. That's her first. 6:52 to go, second quarter. Falcons leading by 9. Wildcats have dominated the offensive glass, but have been unable to capitalize as Ashley Alter knocks down a 12-footer, and the Wildcats call a timeout. The Falcons with an 11-point lead now, 23-12. Ashley Alter 4 points in the ball game, and see if we will get a full timeout here. So we will take a break here on the SPU webcast and be back with you in just a moment. back inside Royal Brown Pavilion at Iron Coaching Court. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. SPU leads Central Washington 23-12. The men's team had a similar lead in their game at this stage of the first half, but unable to hold it. They had a 21-8 lead, and Central Washington moving it into the front court. Sissel gets it to Kiera Bush. And now Maltezo with it. Maltezo goes off the hands of Maeda, unable to connect on the pass. A turnover there, and the Falcons will take it back as the Wildcats only lead by 1 in overall rebounds. They do have 6 offensive rebounds to just 2 for the Falcons, but the Falcons out-rebounding the Wildcats defensively, and there's Rayshak Rory getting to the bucket and laying it in. And the Falcons are the 13-point lead, 25-12. Coming the other way, Maltezo. She has the lone 3 for the Wildcats, as that one is off the mark by Sissel, and Bush came down with it. Rayshak Rory ripped it away, but I think they're going to get her for a foul. Let's see. They're actually going to call that on Anna Eddy. Take that back. It was 30, not 20. It was on Natalie Hoff. And so the Wildcats will keep it with 5:46 to go in the first half. This is Maltezo, and she flings one up with the left hand and gets it to go. She has not met a shot she doesn't like, and she has not shot the ball well so far in this one. But now her third made field goal, as this is Marlowe from the corner, leaving it short. And let's see who touched it last here. It's off the Wildcats, out of bounds. It'll be the Falcons' ball with 5:20 to go. Hoff had it go out of her hands and hit off one of the Wildcats on the way out. Here's Natalie Hoff spinning on Kiera Bush and couldn't get the shot to go. Bush pulls down the rebound. 11-point margin here with just over 5 to play in the first half. Bush to Maltezo, and she pulls up from the elbow. Couldn't get it to go. Bush unable to pull down the rebound, and the Falcons come the other way with it. Rayshak Rory to Natalie Hoff, and she's blocked by Bush. Let's see if they did not call a foul on that one, as some substitutions in for both teams. We see for the first time Shaylee Coulter Fa'amafu from Brisbane, Australia, number 11 for the Wildcats. And this is Alter driving, kicking to Caprice Boston for a 3 from the corner again. And the Falcons go up by 14, 28-14. Doubling up the Wildcats here. This will be Maeda moving it across midcourt. Kicks it. And nice move there by Cassidy Malcolm out of Ellensburg, where the school is located. And Malcolm gets the Wildcats back to within 12. Here's Ashley Alter with a long 2 on the way, and it is off the mark. But Natalie Hoff cleans up the offensive rebound. Couldn't get the shot to go. She will head to the free throw line, though. And this one is going on Cassidy Malcolm. That's her second. And Beth Pettengill will come back for Caprice Boston for the Falcons. Taking a look at the line. Actually, they have just 2 made field goals for Kiza Maltezo. 1 from 3 and 1 from 2 as Natalie Hoff knocks down a couple of free throws. And the Falcons back out to a 14-point lead. Maltezo off the floor now. And that one's ripped away. Pettengill ends up with it. Gets it ahead to Marlowe. And now Hoff, a free throw, basically, but couldn't get it to go. She was right on the free throw line with an open shot there, but a little too strong on it off the back iron. This is Maeda driving. Couldn't get it to go. The rebound cleaned up there by Coulter Ma'afu. And she couldn't get it to go either. Here come the Falcons the other way. This is a three on the way from Brennan. And Bailey Brennan knocks it in. And the Falcons lead by 17 points, 33-16, 3:05 to go. Brennan checks in with a three. And the Falcons have a 17-point lead. As this will be, let's see here, this will be a 30-second timeout. And so we'll keep it right here. Maltezo 2 of 10 from the floor, 1 of 5 from three-point land. And she's got 5 points. Cassidy Malcolm, 5 of 7 from the floor. And she's got 10 points and 4 rebounds for the Wildcats. And for the Falcons, Boston is 3 of 3, all from beyond the arc. She's got 9 points. And 4 points apiece from Ashley Alter and Beth Pettengill. And it adds up to a 33-16 lead for SPU. You have to think this would be a much different game if Samantha Bowman was on the floor for the Wildcats, averaging 16 points and 15 rebounds a game. And we get a whistle here as Heitschmidt was trying to get to the bucket. And the Falcons whistled for a foul. That's going to go on Skylar Berry. Just her first. 2:49 to go. And Huerta going to inbound it to Maltezo. And now Maeda with it. And it's knocked away. Berry got a hand in the passing lane and comes up with the steal. Here's Pettengill. Hands off to Alter. And now Pettengill drives and pulls up from the elbow. Couldn't get it to go. Left it just short. Maltezo drives and draws the blocking foul. And this one is going on Haley Marlowe, her first. Maya Hoff will come in for Ashley Alter. I don't think we've seen the Hoff sisters on the floor at the same time yet in this one. Maltezo will inbound and gets it out to Maeda. And now a three from the corner by Coulter Fa'amafu, I'm sorry. And she knocks it down. So she's on the board with a three. 33-19 Falcons. Berry in the corner to Marlowe. Now Brennan finds Berry going to the bucket, reverses it up and in. Nice play there. Good find by Brennan, and Berry with the reverse. 35-19 Falcons. Here's Maltezo. Up with the left hand, draws the foul. Couldn't get the shot to go. But she will head to the free throw line. 5th team foul on the Falcons, and it goes on Haley Marlowe, who will come out now, along with Bailey Brennan, as Ashley Alter and Abril Rayshak Rory check back in for SPU. And Kiza Maltezo at the free throw line puts in the first. 35-20. Maltezo with 8 in the ball game. And knocks in another free throw. And this one knocked away, and the Wildcats come up with a steal. They trail by 14, trying to cut into that lead a little bit before halftime with just over a minute to play. They have Maltezo for 9 on the scoreboard, and I think that is correct. As this is Maeda drawing the foul with 1:01 to go. On the stats, they have her for 7. Foul is committed by Reshak Rory there, her first. And sends Tori Maeda to the free throw line, where she puts in her first point of the ball game and her second. And it's a 12-point margin. Wildcats trying to get it down to single digits if they can before half. Maya Hoff with it. Maya Hoff, a freshman, and Natalie Hoff, a senior. And Maya Hoff's going to step back and take a 3, and it rims off. I believe that one was off of the back of Skylar Berry, who's asking for a foul, as she was saying she was held there, but does not get the call. Under 40 seconds to go. Maltezo drives, puts up the floater, and a little too strong on it. Alter with the rebound. Here come the Falcons. Maya Hoff will drive and pull it back out. Pettengill with it. Just about a second differential between the shot and game clock, and that one eludes the reach of Skylar Berry. And the shot clock is off now as the Wildcats can play for the final shot. This is Maeda trying to get it up over Pettengill, and now the Falcons will be a little late as Ashley Alter tried to get up a shot but ran out of time. And the Falcons leading the Wildcats at the break, 35-23. We will take a break here on the SPU webcast and be back in a couple of minutes with some first half stats. Later on in the halftime break, we will take a look around the GNAC and see what else is going on tonight. This is the GNAC opener for SPU and Central Washington, and the Falcons lead the Wildcats at halftime, 35-23. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. The Falcons leading the Wildcats at halftime 35-23. And let's take a look at some of the first half stats, first team stats, as the Wildcats shoot just 28% from the floor and the Falcons 44%. Falcons were 6 of 10 beyond the arc, 60% out there. And the Wildcats just 2 of 11 for 18%. Both teams 5 of 6 at the free throw line. And the Falcons end up with an edge in the rebounding battle 19-18. It was Central Washington pulling down some offensive rebounds early on. And the Falcons, though, with the overall edge in rebounding 19-18. And they got their way back in that offensive rebounding battle, too, as Central Washington had 7 offensive boards in the first half, and the Falcons end up with 5. And Falcons led by as many as 17. The last time that the Wildcats led, it was 9-7. But the Falcons led by 33-16 at one point. It's now down to 12. As Central turned it over 10 times in the first half, and SPU turned it over 7 times. 8 assists for SPU to 4 for Central Washington. And let's take a look at some of the individual stats. As SPU has used 11 players in this one so far, Central has used 9. And Cassidy Malcolm leading the way for the Wildcats with 10 points. Kiza Maltezo with 7. Scoreboard still has her with 9, and we'll see if those get synced up at some point. But those two really handling the scoring load, Malcolm and Maltezo, and nobody else with more than 3 in the game for the Wildcats. Rebounding wise, 4 for Malcolm to go with her 10 points. So she has really played the best basketball in the first half for the Wildcats. She's 5 of 7 from the floor. And Maltezo, 2 of 11 overall, 1 of 5 beyond the arc. Hit a 3 early in the game, but she had 1 assist and turned it over 4 times, and now her 1 assist just went away. They took it off the live stats. So they do have her on the live stats now for 9. So, and they actually Malcolm for 8 points now. So at halftime here, Maltezo takes the scoring lead away from Cassidy Malcolm. As Maltezo now with 9 and Malcolm with 8, and I believe that is actually correct. As I know Maltezo at one point had 2 field goals and then knocked down a third, and now they do have her for 3 field goals in the game. The Falcons getting a very balanced attack, and 10 players have scored in the first half for SPU. Nobody with more than 4 except for Caprice Boston, who knocked down 3 threes, and she's got 9 points to lead the way for the Falcons in that department. And Boston only played 12 minutes, so I mean she was out there more than half the time, but knocked down her threes when she got the opportunities. Ashley Alter, 4 points and 4 boards, and Beth Pettengill also 4 points and 4 boards for the Falcons. We're gonna step aside again here on the SPU webcast. We'll come back in a couple of minutes, and we'll take a look at what's going on around the GNAC tonight, as the majority of the GNAC schools getting things underway here. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back to Seattle Pacific University. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as the Falcons lead the Central Washington Wildcats 35-23 at halftime. As we take a look around the GNAC, and a couple of games final. One was postponed as Alaska Fairbanks was scheduled to be at Western Oregon tonight, and that game postponed. And when you see games postponed in this day and age, you suspect COVID had something to do with it, but I don't know that for sure. Basketball games don't get rained out, so. But Montana State Billings opened their GNAC schedule with a 71-67 win over Northwest Nazarene. That game was in Billings, and Northwest Nazarene will be here on Saturday, the Nighthawks, to take on the SPU Falcons. As the women will play at 2 p.m., the men will play at 4:15 on Saturday, and both teams will play against Northwest Nazarene. Alaska Anchorage with a win down at St. Martin's 66-58 earlier tonight, as the men's teams for those two schools are playing now in Lacey. Lincoln out of Oakland, California, their men's team coached by Gary Payton, and they were here actually for an exhibition game against the men's team. But the women's team is at Western Washington tonight, taking on the Vikings. And, of course, we have this one going here, Central Washington and Seattle Pacific. So Simon Fraser inactive tonight. They are going to be at Western Washington tomorrow to start their GNAC schedule. Not tomorrow, Saturday, I'm sorry. And so a couple of games in the books. Anchorage wins. Montana State Billings wins. Anchorage is 6-0 overall. Billings is 6-4 overall, and Western Washington is 5-0. They have yet to play their first conference game. They will do that on Saturday against Simon Fraser. Central Washington coming into this one 4-2, but those games with Samantha Bowman in the lineup, and they are missing her so far tonight as they trail 35-23 at the break. We will step aside again here on the SPU webcast and be back with you in a couple of minutes as we get you set for second half action from Royal Broome Pavilion. Back to Seattle Pacific University. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as we get ready to go to the second half here in just a little under a minute. And SPU leading Central Washington by a count of 35-23 in the GNAC opener for both teams, as the Falcons back out onto the floor with their original starting five: Boston, Alter, Natalie Hoff, Rishak Rory, and Anna Eddy. And it was Boston with 9 points in the first half on 3 threes. And she will inbound to begin the second half here, as still some time running off the clock. The Wildcats with their original starting five: Maeda, Maltezo, Malcolm, Heitschmidt, and Jenna Troy. And didn't really see a lot of Jenna Troy after the start of the game, but teams will usually put their original starting five out there for the start of the second half. Nothing saying you have to do that. This is a nice dish there from Rishak Rory to Anna Eddy to start the scoring here in the second half. And Eddy right there to the basket. Good assist there by Rishak Rory. And the Falcons lead by 14. Wildcats moving around the perimeter. And this is Maeda. Losing it momentarily, gets it back. And this will be Malcolm. And couldn't get the shot to go. Natalie Hoff tips it to her teammate. And here come the Falcons. Rishak Rory sets her feet for a three and knocks it home. And the Falcons lead by 17 again. They've scored the first 5 here in the second half. In the first minute of action. And it's a 40-23 ball game. Here's Maltezo putting it up with the left hand. That one's off the back rim. No rebound to Cassidy Malcolm, and she will put it home for the Wildcats to get them back within 15. Here's Anna Eddy. Boston to Natalie Hoff. Eddy. Rishak Rory drives, finds Natalie Hoff, trying to go to the basket and couldn't get it to go. She got the offensive rebound and then was blocked and fouled as well. That one's going to go on Claire Heitschmidt, and that is already her third foul. So she'll come out in between. No, she'll come out right now, as Kiera Bush will come back in. Kiera Bush, a Seattle native. And Natalie Hoff at the free throw line puts in the first. Natalie Hoff averaging 11.1 points per ball game coming in, and 91% at the free throw line, and give her 2 more there. And 20 of 22 coming in. This is Maltezo driving and gets her pocket picked. Rishak Rory for Eddy to the basket. And the Falcons are making it look a little easy here. At least on that possession. As they had a clean pick on the defensive end and an easy lay-in. Here's Kiera Bush. Gets it to Maltezo. And that one taken away by Boston. She taps it. Eddy, Rishak Rory, and now Alter with it. And the Falcons set up for another offensive possession. Here's Natalie Hoff, and that one just off the back iron. Wildcats the other way. Tori Maeda with it. Falcons were on the verge of taking a 21-point lead, and they may still as they come away with the rebound here. Hoff just had that one miss off the back iron, and now she gets it back at the top of the key. Here's Eddy driving and kicking to Rishak Rory. She spins, kicks it back to the Hoff. Hoff driving on Bush, and she draws the foul. And so Natalie Hoff will head to the free throw line. We just saw her knock in a couple, and she knocked in 2 in the first half as well. So she's 4 for 4 from the line. That makes her 24 of 26 on the season. And she'll get a couple more here. And drains the first. It's a 20-point lead for the Falcons. She'll get one more. That one is good as well. Natalie Hoff, 6 of 6 at the free throw line. And those are all her points. No made field goals, but 6 made free throws. And the Falcons lead 46-25. This one in the post to Kiera Bush, and she's able to get that one in off the glass. Natalie Hoff finds Anna Eddy going to the bucket. And the Falcons are sharing the ball well tonight. This one is going to be a foul as they try to get it into Kiera Bush. And the foul going to be called on Natalie Hoff. That's her second. Sunshine Huerta will come back in for the Wildcats. And Caleb Brundage and Haley Marlowe for the Falcons. 48-27 with 6:17 to go here in the third quarter. And Beth Pettengill in for the Falcons as well. And she knocks Cassidy Malcolm to the floor. It looked worse than I think what Pettengill intended there, as Malcolm was tripped up and crashed hard to the floor, but she's back up. Here's Bush. And Bush to the bucket and off the back rim. Gets her own rebound, but they blow it dead, and they will send Kiera Bush to the free throw line. Beth Pettengill the foul. She'll come right back out. And Maya Hoff onto the floor. Kiera Bush to the free throw line with 6:08 to go here in the third. And Bush knocks in the first free throw. Kiera Bush coming into this one just 1 of 2 at the free throw line on the season, so not a lot of time there, but she knocks in 2 and makes it 48-29. And those are her first 2 free throws of the evening. As Eddy tried to get it to Brundage, and it was knocked away by the Wildcats. And here they come the other way. This is Maltezo pulling up. Couldn't get the shot to go, but Malcolm pulls down the rebound. Wildcats trail by 19, trying to claw their way back in. And Bush had that one go off her hands, and Anna Eddy ends up with it. Eddy ahead for Marlowe. Marlowe in the key to Brundage, and that one rims out. Brundage had a good look at it, and we get a held ball. It's going to go the other way on the alternating possession. Here comes Bailey Brennan in for Anna Eddy for the Falcons. And the Wildcats with possession and just over 5 to play, trailing by 19. You have to imagine this game would be much different if Samantha Bowman was out there, as Maltezo comes up with nothing on that one, but Kiera Bush is in the right spot for the rebound. She draws the foul on Kayla Brundage. And she will head to the free throw line. Bush from Cleveland High School and Brundage from Garfield High School. And they're both juniors. So could imagine they faced off a time or two in high school, as Bush knocks in the free throw. And she'll get one more. And puts that one in as well. So Kiera Bush 4 for 4 from the free throw line here in the third quarter. It's 48-31. as Central Washington putting on the pressure in the backcourt. Falcons break it, and I think we're going the other way here. Foul called on Caleb Brundage. Away from the ball. 4:50 to go, third quarter. Timeout called. Timeout on the floor. And it is a 17-point ball game. Falcons with the lead. We'll be right back to SPU in just a moment. Back to SPU. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast as the Falcons lead the Wildcats 48-31 midway through the third quarter. 4:50 to go. And the Wildcats will inbound it, and Tori Maeda will bring it across. Maltezo gets it to Malcolm. And now Sunshine Huerta puts it in off the glass. Good looking shot there from the 5'4" freshman out of Whittier, California. Here's Caprice Boston to Bailey Brennan. Rishak Rory with it now. And Skylar Berry back out there as well for the Falcons. Rishak Rory drives, kicks. They move it around. 4 on the shot clock. And Brennan going to throw one up there and hits the glass but not the rim. It'll be a shot clock violation as Brennan did not draw iron on that one. And so Central gets it back down just 15. And trying to cut further into the lead. As SPU's largest lead was 21. And there is a jumper from Cassidy Malcolm and a 3 from Cassidy Malcolm. And SPU is going to take a timeout here as their lead has been trimmed to 12. It was 48-27. It's a 9-0 run for Central as they are back within striking distance. 3:40 to go here in the third. And this will be a full timeout, so we'll step aside for just a moment here on the SPU webcast. 48-36, Falcons over the Wildcats. Back to Seattle Pacific University. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons with the ball as they talk things over having their lead trimmed from 21 down to 12 and trying to stay in control of this one. Reshak Rory gets it to Eddie, and a nice dish there to Boston, and she walked to the basketball. Missed the shot as well. And she went a little too far underneath the basket and tried to shovel it back up there, but got called for the travel. So the Wildcats with possession, trying to cut it to within 10, and Maltezo knocks down the three from the right wing. And it's a 9-point ball game. Kiza Maltezo with 12. And here's Reshak Rory the other way. Eddie driving, kicking to Boston for a three, and that one's off the mark. Kira Bush the rebound. Wildcats the other way. Down 9. Trying to cut further into the lead. Here's Maltezo. She has it knocked away. And I believe it just was knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Wildcats. From my vantage point, very hard to see that part of the court. I'm kind of in the corner above this end of the court. And that one off the mark. Malcolm couldn't get that one to go. And the Falcons with the rebound. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 9-point ball game. Reshak Rory gets in deep, kicks it back out to Eddie. Eddie finds Natalie Hoff going to the basket, lays it in. Natalie Hoff with her first made field goal of the game after making 6 free throws. And she's got 8 points. Here is Huerta with the floater in the lane with the left hand. Good looking play there by Sunshine. And the Wildcats back within 9 again. As Huerta now with 4 points in the ball game. Couple of good-looking baskets, though. And this will be Haley Marlowe for the Falcons. Eddie, a three on the way, and that rims out. But the rebound comes down to Hoff. Natalie Hoff, and no foul called on that. Looked like she had it ripped away. And here is Cassidy Malcolm off the glass and in. The bank is still open at 8:40 at night. As that gets the Wildcats back to within 6 at 50-44. And Cassidy Malcolm was 16 in the ballgame. Here's Eddie. That one's off the mark. And the Wildcats down 6. They were down 21 earlier in this quarter. And they have made a run and gotten right back into the ballgame. Maeda going to try to kill some clock. Being guarded by Reshak Rory. Maltezo with it now. And Marlowe got a hand in there and poked it away. Marlowe the other way, dishing to Eddie. And what a play there by Marlowe, the steal and the assist to Anna Eddy. Here come the Wildcats. And a three on the way from Maeda is short. And the Falcons will head to the fourth quarter up by 8. A great play there by Haley Marlowe to get the steal and get the assist to Anna Eddy. And that's a big play there as the Wildcats had the momentum. But the Falcons take a little back there. And it is an 8-point margin as we head to the fourth quarter here on the SPU webcast. 52-44 Falcons over the Wildcats. Back inside Royal Broen Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons lead 52-44 over the Central Washington Wildcats, as the Falcons are shooting 44% from the floor for the game. The Wildcats shooting just 36%. Falcons 50% beyond the arc, 7 of 14. Wildcats 33% on 5 of 15. And both teams 9 of 10 at the free throw line. Wildcats hold the rebounding edge 26-24. And Wildcats have turned it over 14 times. The Falcons 11, as the Falcons begin the fourth quarter with possession. Alter to Reshak Rory. Now Natalie Hoff gets it to Alter for an open three, and she knocks it in. Ashley Alter puts the Falcons back up by 11. Big turn of events at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth, as the Wildcats were within 6. And now it's an 11-point ball game again. And they're going to get Haley Marlowe for the foul there. That is her third. Marlowe had a big play at the end of the third, as she reached in and got the steal, as Alter comes down with a rebound there on the miss by Maltezo. Ahead for Boston. She'll kick it back out for Reshak Rory. And the Falcons will set up a possession. Marlowe. Back out to Alter. Another three on the way. And Ashley Alter back-to-back threes. And the Falcons open up a 14-point lead. It was 6 just a moment ago. And now 14, as Ashley Alter back-to-back threes. And she's got, no, they take a point off. They said that one was just 2. The Wildcats score on the other end. Here's Reshak Rory throwing the baseball pass ahead to Alter. She'll get control of it and slow things up. As they said, Alter had her foot on the line on that last one. So 57-46, and Reshak Rory is short on that one. And the Wildcats will take it the other way. It was, I said it was a 14-point game. It was actually 13, and then the Wildcats get back to within 11. And here's a three on the way from Malcolm. No good. Rebound to Marlowe. Marlowe all the way to the other end, draws the foul, and Maltezo goes crashing into the padding against the wall. She commits the foul and sends Haley Marlowe to the free throw line. That's just the first foul on Kiza Maltezo. And the official coming over for a short conversation. It'll just be a common foul. And Marlowe to the free throw line. Falcons not lined up on the key, and now they will after the first free throw. 58-46 now. And Marlowe's second free throw is off the mark. And so the Wildcats pull down the rebound and come the other way with it. Just under 8 to play. 58-46. Falcons with the lead. And this is going to be a three on the way from Maeda. Off the mark, no good. Ends up out of bounds. Last touched by the Wildcats. And the Falcons will take it the other way. They lead by 12. They led by 21 in the third quarter, had it trimmed all the way down to 6. And some big plays. Ashley Alter back-to-back long jumpers. One was a 3 and the other one ended up being a 2. Here's Maltezo driving all the way and couldn't get the shot to go. And here come the Falcons the other way. Alter will slow things up momentarily. Now she steps into the lane and puts in the jumper. And Ashley Alter has the Falcons up by 14, 60-46. She's got 11 points. Here's Sunshine Huerta over Alter, and she puts it in. Huerta's got game. She just 5'4", but she can play. This is Caprice Boston cutting through the lane and putting in the shot. And Boston now with 11. She had all threes up to that point, but now a two-pointer as well. Huerta out to Maeda. Cassidy Malcolm harassed, gets it to Huerta. Huerta over Alter, left that one short. And we get a whistle on the rebound. And this one is going to go. That one's going to go on Claire Heitschmidt of the Wildcats. And Anna Eddy will come back in for Haley Marlowe for the Falcons. Falcons lead 62-48. Just over 6 minutes to go here. And the Falcons trying to close it out on their home floor to open the GNAC schedule with a win. The men were unable to close the deal against the Wildcats in the first game of the evening. As this is a three on the way from Maeda, and she rattles that one home. And that will make it 62-51. Wildcats within 11. Alter will swing it out to Caprice Boston. Boston drives and couldn't get it to go. Natalie Hoff there to clean up the offensive rebound. Couldn't get that one to go either. Wildcats the other way. Huerta drives and kicks it out. Maeda to Cassidy Malcolm, a straight on three. And the Wildcats getting back in this one again. They're down 8 with just over 5 to play. Malcolm with 19 points in the ballgame. And she's got to pick up some of the scoring load as the Wildcats missing Samantha Bowman. This is Anna Eddy for a three from the left wing. That one rattles out and pinballs around and comes down in the hands of Claire Heitschmidt. Here come the Wildcats again. 62-54. And here's Huerta. And this is Heitschmidt, a three on the way. She leaves it short. Rishak Rory pulls it down. Rishak Rory goes all the way to the basket and lays it up and in. They didn't stop the ball. It's a 10-point game. Rishak Rory with 8 in the ball game. And the Falcons with a 10-point lead. This is Jenna Troy cutting to the basket. She's been in the starting lineup in both halves, and there's a timeout called by SPU. She hasn't been out there a whole lot, has Jenna Troy. But the Falcons with an 8-point lead. This will be the final media timeout of the fourth quarter. And so we'll step aside here on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back. Back to Seattle Pacific University. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons lead by 8, 64-56. Cassidy Malcolm, 19 points and 10 rebounds, 8 of 13 shooting. And Kiza Maltezo, not as efficient of a game. She's got 12 points, but she's shooting 4 of 18 from the floor. Has 8 turnovers as well. Is not her best game. As Ashley Alter puts up a 3 from the left corner and couldn't get it to go. Maltezo pulls down the rebound. Wildcats into the front court. Maltezo gets it to Malcolm for another 3, and that one's off the mark. No good. Rebound, though, to Kiera Bush, and she draws the foul. Kiera Bush will head to the free throw line, where she knocked in 4 free throws in the third quarter. And she's got 8 rebounds, 6 points and 8 rebounds off the bench for the Wildcats. Just 15 minutes of action for Bush, but has really chipped in some numbers. Misses the free throw here, though. 3:21 on the clock. Kiera Bush at the free throw line trying to get the Wildcats back within 7. That one misses as well. So she went 4 of 4 in the third quarter, but 0 of 2 here in the fourth so far. And the Falcons still with an 8-point lead and possession. Here's Haley Marlowe kicking it to Beth Pettengill. He had it poked away and out of bounds. Falcons will keep it with 3:05 to go. 15 on the shot clock as Pettengill will inbound to Marlowe. Marlowe to Ashley Alter. She drives, kicks out. Hoff over to Marlowe. Shot clock running down. Anna Eddy has to throw one up and did not draw iron. It's a shot clock violation. 2:49 to go. And the Wildcats with possession. Wildcats hanging around in this one. They were down as many as 21 in the third quarter. But they are definitely not going away. Here's Maltezo, a quick 3 on the way, and she left it short, but Kiera Bush in there for the rebound. Bush brings it back out, now has her shot partially blocked. She draws the foul. She'll head back to the free throw line. And I think they got Pettengill for another one. That is the 4th on Beth Pettengill. And Pettengill has been limited by foul trouble. Falcons have used a lot of players, but Pettengill has not seen as many minutes as she might ordinarily. Bush knocks down the first free throw here. Pettengill just 11 minutes in this one and 4 fouls. Bush misses the second free throw. And the Falcons with the rebound. 64-57. Natalie Hoff with the rebound, more specifically. Here's Alter. Gets it to Anna Eddy in the corner. And Alter is going to pull up and knock down a 15-footer. And the Falcons with a 9-point lead and just over 2 minutes to play. Ashley Alter with 13 in the ballgame. And Maeda trips. And they're going to say Ashley Alter was responsible. So she commits the foul. Subs in for both teams. Both wear number 11 as Reshak Rory coming back. And then also Shaylee Coulter Fa'amafu, native of Brisbane, Australia, for the Wildcats. And this is Maltezo driving and drawing the foul. That one's going to go on Ashley Alter. That is her first. And they're going to send Maltezo to the free throw line. Don't know if she was in the act of shooting per se. I think the official may be having a discussion on how many team fouls that was. They just have 4 on the scoreboard. So the foul actually goes on Caprice Boston, who is confused. And it's the 5th team foul. That's why Maltezo is at the free throw line. Officials still having a discussion here. And let's see, it is Ashley Alter. They get that corrected. So Alter with her first, I believe. There's Maltezo puts in the free throw. They did have just one up there for Alter. And Maltezo at the free throw line again misses the second. She splits a pair, and Caprice Boston pulls down the rebound. Falcons still with an 8-point lead, closing in on 90 seconds left in this one. Marlowe gets it to Natalie Hoff. Here's Alter driving, finding Marlowe. Rishak Rory with it. 7 on the shot clock. Rishak Rory looking for somewhere to go with it. Boston puts it up and draws iron, but can't get the shot to go. And the Wildcats bring it the other way. Marlowe reached in front of Maltezo and knocked it out. And so the Wildcats will keep it, but they'll call a timeout first. 1:07 to go. 66-58. Falcons with the lead. And this is going to be a full timeout. So we will take another break here on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back in just a moment. 67 seconds left. 66-58 Falcons with the lead. .107 on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Falcons lead 66-58. And the Wildcats with possession. This one far from over. As it'll be inbounded by Jenna Troy to Tori Maeda. And Marlowe tried to reach in there, but Maltezo keeps possession. Here's a 3 on the way, and it's good for Shaylee Coulter Fa'amafu. And the Wildcats within 5. 45 seconds left on the clock. And the second 3 of the ball game for Coulter Fa'amafu. She's got 6 points. This is Rishak Rory. Marlowe kicks it out to Natalie Hoff. Marlowe maybe could have just turned and laid that one in. But Hoff unable to connect. This is Cassidy Malcolm missing the shot but drawing the foul. And she will head to the free throw line. That is actually the 3rd on Ashley Alter. She had one. That last one a moment ago was her 2nd. And now she commits her 3rd with 20.1 on the clock. And it'll send Cassidy Malcolm to the free throw line, where she will have an opportunity to get the Wildcats within 3 if she can make both of these free throws here. And the first one is good. 4-point ball game. And Malcolm a 20 for the ball game. And she will get one more. And that one rattles home. 66-63. Timeout as SPU will have possession, but just a 3-point lead with 20 seconds to go. And we'll keep it here. This has turned into an entertaining ball game as the Falcons led by 21 in the third quarter, had it trimmed all the way down to 6, and then regained some of the momentum right at the end of the third quarter. Haley Marlowe came up with a steal and a good-looking assist to Anna Eddy to get the last basket of the third quarter. And then to open the fourth quarter, Ashley Alter with some big plays to get the Falcons back out to a double-digit lead. However, it's now down to just 3 with 20.1 on the clock. And Falcons will get it in bounds, and you can imagine the Wildcats will try to foul right away, and they do. Jenna Troy fouls Ashley Alter. And that's just the third team foul. Bailey Brennan in for Haley Marlowe for SPU. Third team foul on the Wildcats, so they still have another one to give the one after that as Brennan is fouled by Maltezo. And now Beth Pettengill going to come back in for SPU. That's the second foul on Maltezo. Rishak Rory will check out. 16.1. Boston to inbound again. Next foul will put the Falcons at the line, and Maltezo charges into Bailey Brennan. And Brennan will head to the free throw line with 15.5 to go. Third foul on Maltezo. And Bailey Brennan at the free throw line. She's got 3 points in the ball game on a three-pointer in the first half. She knocks down the first free throw, and that's a big one as it gives the Falcons a 4-point lead. And the second one is no good. Wildcats with the rebound, and they call timeout immediately with 14.9 on the clock. And they will draw up a play. They need 2 possessions here in the next 15 seconds. And so they need to get something quick and then foul. Anna Eddy will come back in for SPU. Looking at the team stats, the Falcons still shooting 44%. Wildcats shooting 37% for the ball game. But the Wildcats have made a run and gotten back into this one. Cassidy Malcolm has had a ball game, 21 points and 11 rebounds. And Kiza Maltezo, 13 points, but 4 of 19 from the floor. And she gets the inbounds pass here and knocks over Marlowe, but no whistle on that one. Here is Malcolm, a 3 on the way. Off the front rim, pulled down by Bailey Brennan. It's going to be a held ball, I believe. And that's going to stay with the Wildcats, but they're down to 4 seconds, and they are down by 4 points. So SPU should come away with a win here unless something miraculous happens. Central's just going to run out of time. Here's Malcolm to the bucket, lays it up and in with 2.4 to go. And they're going to foul Haley Marlowe with now just 1.4 on the clock. And even if, and the foul on Maltezo, that's her 4th, even if Haley Marlowe does not convert on either of these free throws, the Wildcats are going to have to heave one up. But Marlowe, trying to seal the deal at the free throw line, knocks in the first. And she's got 5 points in the ball game. And she'll get an opportunity to make it a 4-point game, and she does. And that is going to do it regardless of whether this shot goes in or not from Maltezo. It does not. It's off the glass. And that will do it. SPU hangs on for a 69-65 win over the Central Washington Wildcats, albeit without Samantha Bowman, who really would have made a difference in this ballgame, you have to think. And we'll never know, though. SPU ends up with the win by 4, and they go to 4-4 on the season, 1-0 in GNAC play. The Wildcats dropped to 4-3, and they are now 0-1 in GNAC play. The Falcon women will be back in action at 2 p.m. on Saturday against Northwest Nazarene here at Royal Broome Pavilion. The men will follow against also Northwest Nazarene, and that game slated for a 4:15 tip-off. The game here tonight goes to the Falcons by a count of 69-65. Let's get you some stats here. As Falcons shoot 44%, the Wildcats end up shooting 38%. 44% beyond the arc as well for the Falcons. 8 of 18 out there, and the Wildcats 8 of 25, 32%. Falcons go 13 of 16 at the free throw line, and the Wildcats go 13 of 18. Wildcats out-rebound the Falcons 37-34. But they actually both teams turned it over 14 times in the ballgame. 17 assists for the Falcons to 10 for the Wildcats. As Central Washington got a great ball game from Cassidy Malcolm, 23 points, 11 rebounds, and a block in there. Went 9 of 16 from the floor. She really cooled off a little bit toward the end. She was shooting a higher percentage, but still 9 of 16, 56% is quite good. Kiza Maltezo, the other Wildcat in double figures, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 8 turnovers, and just 2 assists. Her assist-to-turnover ratio was positive coming into this one. More assists than turnovers, but came in with 25 assists and 22 turnovers, so she exits this one with 27 assists and 30 turnovers. So the assist-to-turnover ratio now on the wrong side.